Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Addie. So for today's video is the latest travel updates to the Philippines for May of 2023. Details coming right. So, new month, let's update the travel protocols to the Philippines. This is May the 6th of 2023. Let's start with fully vaccinated. So, for fully vaccinated traveling to the Philippines, there's really not much requirements the Philippine government asks from you, but your valid passport, of course, the eTravel registration within 72 hours prior to departure, your vaccination card since you are fully vaccinated, and that's about it. I've heard in some travelers that vaccination was not even asked, but please do not disregard, or please don't forget to bring your vaccination card or vaccination certificate if you are fully vaccinated, because it doesn't mean that one traveler was not asked, it won't mean you won't be asked. So it's better to have that document when they ask during check-in. You guys are no longer have to submit any negative COVID-19 test because this is not required anymore for fully vaccinated. Booster shots is not required or mandatory to enter the Philippines. What the Philippine government really requires for fully vaccinated is that you have been vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine, whether this is for a single series, for example, that's the Johnson & Johnson, or the two-dose series like the Pfizer and Moderna. For unvaccinated inbound travelers to the Philippines, what the Philippine government requires from you is a negative antigen test within 24 hours prior to departure. You can also do an RT-PCR test within 48 hours prior to departure, but this is optional. It's really up to you which test you want to do as an unvaccinated traveler. Now, there are airlines that does not ask for the negative antigen test result or negative RT-PCR test result. Having said that, you will be tested upon arrival into the Philippines. But please also be aware that there are airlines, actually majority of them, ask for the negative antigen test document. Make sure to have them when they ask because you may not be able to board without it. So it really depends on the airline if they will let you board without the negative antigen or RT-PCR test document. So I wanted to emphasize that because we have subscribers that went through the process, went through the check-in, unvaccinated without the negative antigen test document, and they were able to board and got tested when they arrived into the Philippines. That is actually the protocol when they posted this announcement. But the problem are the airline, because majority of the airlines would ask for the negative antigen or negative RT-PCR test during check-in when you are unvaccinated. That's actually the first document that they ask. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up that some airlines will not ask for it, but majority of the airlines will ask for it. So I wanted you guys to be prepared, especially when you are flying to the Philippines unvaccinated, to have that document ready. What I can suggest, be tested before you depart from your country of origin. That way, you'll already know the result if you are negative from COVID-19 or if you are positive from COVID-19. Because if you are positive from COVID-19, you are not flying anywhere. You have to quarantine. You have to be COVID-19 free before you can fly. Now, if the airline, in case the airline will let you board the aircraft without the negative antigen test document, and you will be tested in the Philippines upon arrival, and it turns out to be positive for COVID-19, you will be quarantined. That's the only time you will be quarantined. So if you have the test prior to departure and it's negative, no more quarantine. So that has been lifted a long time ago if you are unvaccinated. Just make sure that your COVID-19 test is negative, whether this is under antigen or RT-PCR test. I have been asked on this several times when it comes to testing as an unvaccinated if they can do the home kit and stuff like that. What I know is you can do a self-test, but it has to be supervised by a medical professional like a nurse, a doctor. They have to supervise the process. So if you do that, make sure to follow the rules that has been stated by the IATF resolution. Next is eTravel registration. There were changes on the eTravel registration also. Before, eTravel was only required when you are arriving into the Philippines. This is required to all arriving travelers to the Philippines. Registration within 72 hours prior to departure from your country of origin. So that is 3 days before you depart. For example, if you're coming from the US, Canada, or Australia. So the change last month was the eTravel will also be required for departing passengers. Only for specific passengers. These are passengers departing the Philippines holding a Philippine passport. So if you are departing the Philippines as foreign national, you don't really need to register with eTravel. But if you are departing the Philippines as a Filipino citizen with a Philippine passport, then you need to register with eTravel registration. The eTravel registration is replacing the paper-based departure card that you use to fill out when you leave the Philippines. Again, departing passengers will only register eTravel registration if you are a Philippine passport holder. If you don't possess a Philippine passport, then you don't need to register with eTravel when departing the Philippines. Terminal reassignment, this is still ongoing. So there are airlines that are now arriving and departing at Terminal 1 that they used to arrive and depart at Terminal 2. So make sure that you guys know your terminal on where you are arriving or where you are departing, because they have been changing this. For example, Philippine Airlines. As we all know, Philippine Airlines is solely using Terminal 2 for a long time. Now, some flights of Philippine Airlines is now departing and arriving at Terminal 1. Eventually, by July, all international flights of Philippine Airlines, for example, will depart and arrive at Terminal 1. Terminal 2 will solely be used for domestic flights only. So make sure to inform your relatives or friends when they are going to the airport to pick you up, and make sure that you know which terminal you're going to when you depart the Philippines. Also, the Philippines airspace shutdown that is going to happen on May 17. We made an update on this yesterday. So check with your airline if you are flying to the Philippines on May the 17th for this shutdown, to do an upgrade on the transportation system of the Philippines, particularly at the airport. So 42 airports across the country are going to be affected by this maintenance activity. So make sure to coordinate with your airline. Like I said, make sure to coordinate with your airline if your flight is going to be affected by this. Travel insurance is not mandatory and required anymore to enter the Philippines. This is actually optional, so it's really up to you guys if you still want to purchase or avail travel insurance. I highly suggest it, but make sure when you purchase travel insurance, check if you guys can use it here in the Philippines, because there are travel insurance that you cannot use outside of the country where you purchase it. So when you go shop for travel insurance, make sure that you guys can use it here in the Philippines just in case of emergencies. For minor travelers to the Philippines, 15 years old and below, the vaccination status who will be followed by the minors are those guardians and parents who are traveling with them. So for example, you are flying with your 7-year-old kid. He is unvaccinated, but you are fully vaccinated, so he will be covered as fully vaccinated. So like I said, if you guys are flying with minors, the vaccination status is followed through whoever they are flying with. So that's the latest travel updates to the Philippines for May of 2023. To those who just arrived into the Philippines, especially this month of May, please share your experience. If they are still very strict when it comes to checking documents like vaccination card, eTravel registration, because I have received a comment from one of our videos that she arrived to the Philippines without even being checked with eTravel registration. Then when she depart the Philippines, she's not even asked for the eTravel registration. She did register, but like I said, it doesn't mean that if one traveler was not asked for the following documents that still requires by the Philippine government, it won't mean that it will not be asked from you. So it's better to be more prepared when you travel. That way you'll have a hassle-free travel to and from the Philippines. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries with regards to this video or in any of our travel related videos, please comment it down below and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Or you can direct message me in our Facebook page, same handle, the Eaton Squad. Again guys, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel and to our family. I hope to see you on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone.